What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within. Now, we are about a month away from the release of the War Within, and already we are seeing nerfs to our gold making plans. Now, to be fair, this was kind of a nerf that had to happen. Well, it didn't really have to happen, and it didn't happen in Dragonflight, but it happened this time around. And to be real, I'm more happy about this than I'm mad about this. We're going to be talking about what's happened recently in a blue post from Blizzard. Now, real quick before that, if you're looking for the best add-on to have in World of Warcraft for the War Within, check out Zygor through the link down below. I have recently become an affiliate with Zygor, so every time you purchase anything from their product with my link through the link down below, I get a kickback. It's a great way to get yourself a good add-on for the War Within, a really good one, like really great add-on, and support me at the same time, so you're directly supporting me and getting something really valuable back. Now, I've been using Zygor myself, it is really good. It helps you with leveling, professions, gold making. It has so many things to offer in one place. It is easy to access, it's easy to navigate, and it's really user-friendly. So, once again, I've really been enjoying Zygor myself, been using it for about a month now, both in the pre-patch and in the MOP remix, and also a little bit in Classic as well, so I've been enjoying Zygor, and if you want to enjoy it as well, once again, the link will be down below, and I will get a kickback. Now, for any of you guys that are looking to make gold in the War Within, I also have a gold making guide. I'm not going to shout that out too much right now, but if you want to read more about it, the information will be down below in the video description. Now let's talk about the nerfs. So if you are really into professions in World of Warcraft, and especially retail / the War Within, you've probably heard about this already, but also, if you've only been following Blue Post, it's a little bit obscure, and you have to go out of your way to find this information. It's basically information about professions and gold making in a class update, it looks like, because here's the thing, it's in these beta development notes from July 24th. That was yesterday. I just woke up today and I'm making this now. So this is a long blue post, and you can see here, hello testers, here are this week's updates to the War Within beta. Now, this will go through all of the updates to the beta, and as always, they're going to be focusing a lot on making the classes right, and also fixing dungeons and stuff like that. So you have to basically scroll far down. You can see classes have a huge section when it comes to what's happening here. A lot of rework being done to classes, a lot of buffs, a lot of nerfs, and just reworks overall. Now, when you scroll down past all the classes, which once again, as you can see, it's a long scroll, you suddenly come to this one small section called items. Over here, removed the Artisan's Aquity from one-time outdoor profession treasures, so crafters are still able to start with relatively the same amount of Aquity to begin their crafting journey. In addition, 200 Artisan's Aquity has been added to the starter reagent bags from the quest Crafting to Order in Dornogal. This means that when you go to Dornogal, this is a level 68 quest, so you can go here at the start of the War Within. You can pick up this quest, you just have to talk to some person, and you get 200 Aquity. That is a one-time quest. That means that everyone is starting with 200 Aquity instead of starting with 0. After that, the treasures will now no longer give you Aquity, and in the past, they gave you 120 Aquity each. And what a lot of people had planned here, myself included by the way, was to basically grab every single profession, fly around, grab the treasures, and get a bunch of Aquity. They gave you 120 Aquity, there was 8 of them, 15 times 8, 120 Aquity per profession when gathering treasures. Now, based on there being 11 professions, you do some quick math there, that is about 1,300 Aquity that you can get, like 1,320 or something like that. A bunch of Aquity, over 1,000 Aquity that people could get from day one, and grabbing these treasures would take you about 10 minutes if you had 2 professions, so in 1 hour you would have 1,000 plus Aquity, which is insane, and Aquity will be way more important in the War Within than it was in Dragonflight, so a lot of people, they really wanted to do this, and they pretty much felt like they had to do this, because the Aquity is so important, that if you didn't do the profession shuffle, you were so far behind, and making profit with professions seemed impossible. So on that note, I'm very happy about this, even though I was planning to do the shuffle myself, because now everyone is starting on somewhat of a level playing field, and you don't feel forced to do the professional shuffle. Even in Dragonflight, you kind of felt forced, but metal back then wasn't as important, as Acuity is right now. So Acuity being even more important, and knowledge points as well being even more important, you really felt compelled to go out and grab these treasures, which is kind of a cringy thing, just shuffling through professions to grab every single treasure just to give yourself a head start. Now, for future reference, I'm gonna have a couple of videos in about a week or so where we start covering the locations of these treasures, and even with the profession shuffle being irrelevant, you still want to grab the treasures for your main professions. But the thing is, if you, for example, plan to have tailoring plus alchemy as an example here, you no longer have to pick up herbalism and mining first to get those treasures, but getting your tailoring plus alchemy treasures will still be really important, because they give you 3 knowledge points per treasure, so 24 knowledge points. So the treasures did not become irrelevant, they just really took out the whole shuffle mechanic out of those treasures. So now, instead of grabbing every single treasure for every profession, you only want to get the ones relevant to your current professions, and you will not feel compelled to throw them away and then grab every single profession, if that makes sense. So the profession shuffle is kind of dead, but is it really? And that's kind of what I want to talk about right now, because even with this, as you can see, we're starting out with 200 Acuity, and not having tested this all the way out on beta, let's just talk about how to get Acuity, and how difficult Acuity getting will be. So you start out with 200 Acuity from that quest, right? That's going to be a super easy quest to complete, that's 200 Acuity. After that, you get 15 per week from the regular weekly quest that every profession will have. You have one for crafters, you have one for gatherers. That gives you 15, because it gives you 3 knowledge points per week, and that gives you 15 Acuity at the same time. After that, you also get 15 per week from the crafting order weekly quest, and in Dragonflight we had a 3rd quest as well for professions. I don't know if we have that right now in the War Within, but if we do, that's 45 Acuity per week. If we don't, that's 30 Acuity per week. That is not a lot of Acuity. After that, you also get various reputations and renown rewards that I haven't fully checked out yet, but I also believe you have to spend Acuity to get those knowledge points. That then gives you the Acuity back, so I don't think that will be too relevant. After that, the next way to get Acuity will be through first time crafts. So for example, if I take this away right now, we can see me being in the game, and when you craft something for the first time, you have something called a first craft bonus. So for me, I can craft this one, the Pioneer's Cloth Cuffs, for the first time here, and we will then get a bonus when crafting it for the first time. Now the bonus we got was Artisan's Acuity. We only got, Artisan's Acuity, you can see right here, so we have another one of those, 1568, and let's just see exactly how many we get when we do a couple of first time crafts here. So 1568, 1569, in Dragonflight it used to be sometimes you get 1, sometimes you get a little bit more than 1, but it seems to be like, you don't get the 5 we usually got. At the start of Dragonflight we got 5 Acuity per first time craft, but this time around we're getting way less. So over here as well, we've only gotten 1 per craft so far. You do get a knowledge point, but you only get 1 Acuity, so 1 Acuity per first time craft. That being said, that makes you able to farm a little bit more Acuity by doing first time crafts. So for example, this one I need a storm dust to make, but so far we have gotten 1 Acuity for every single first time craft. If you want to eke out every single ounce you can of min-maxing when it comes to Acuity, you can still do profession shuffles for first time crafts, but based on you getting 1 Acuity every single time, it is looking to be a little bit rough. It's going to be rough. Let's just say you're probably going to have between 10 and 20 first time crafts. That means that every single profession will be between 100, or no, 10 and 20 Artisan's Acuity for every single profession, and multiplying that by 9, because you have 2 professions plus 9, so 11, you can get about 100 Acuity. Give or take, if you do the full shuffle, you will get about 100 extra Acuity. Now the reason why this nerf is kind of a big deal, and why a lot of people were planning to do the shuffle in the first place, was that we need a bunch of Acuity to craft our profession tools and profession accessories. Looking at, for example, this is a enchanting accessory, so a accessory, you can have 2 of them, 300 Acuity to craft the best one. So 300 Acuity, 300 Acuity, and 300 Acuity. You're looking to spend 900 Acuity to get the best tools and accessories that you can have for your profession. So a lot of people wanted to have this to max out their professions from the start, which is now no longer going to be available. Instead of having all 3 from the start, if you min-max and you do a lot of things, you can probably get 1 in the first couple of days, like 300 acuity. After that, you will really slow down at the pace of which that you're getting the acuity. That being said, there will likely be a couple of mobs in the open world that drops those items, like for example, if you killed Brackenhide mobs, like the gnolls in Dragonflight, they also gave you an item every single week that gave you 1 more knowledge point, aka 5 acuity. So that's probably gonna be here this time around as well. So we have the open world treasures, then we have the weekly quests, and then we have the mobs that you have to loot to get a couple of items. And we don't know exactly what those mobs are, but for tailoring you have to loot certain mobs, for jewel crafting you have to loot certain mobs, and for blacksmithing you also have to loot certain mobs. I believe it was 2 or 3 different mobs we had in Dragonflight that you could loot. Even enchanters, like every single profession had some mobs you could kill per week to get loot from that gave you like a blue item that would then give you 1 knowledge point for that item, which is once again 5 acuity. So yeah, the profession shuffle seems to be a little bit dead as for now, but I just wanted to update you guys on that, because once again a lot of us was planning to use those treasures to give ourselves a huge advantage in the first week and get those profession tools and accessories from the start, which we're no longer able to do. And once again, I think it's a really good change by Blizzard, because this really promoted cringy behavior of just farming treasures for every single profession, which is, I guess, not intended behavior. I don't think that's why they put in the treasures to begin with. So it just makes things a little bit more fun. That being said, we can min-max less. So yeah, there we go. That's the video, that's the information. It's important to have out there, so hopefully this was helpful to you. And once again, check out my gold making guide for access to more gold making information in the War Within, where we cover deep dives of every single profession and how to make gold with them, how to spend your knowledge points, and we even have found a bunch of gold farms on the beta that you can now have from the launch itself to give yourself the most gold you can in the early access. Either way, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.